went on to form the man of dust from the ground and to blow into his nostrils the breath of life. And the man became a living soul. And to the man, from every tree of the garden you may eat to satisfaction, but as for the tree of the knowledge of good and bad, you must not eat from it. For in the day you eat from it, you will certainly die. This is what a loving parent does, doesn't it? When you have your kids that you love so much, in order to protect them, you actually impose rules because you want them to be protected. What if there is a fire in the house? What is if there is some chemicals for a particular purpose? Would you want your kids to be harmed by those? No. Then you bring in rules so that they are safe. This is what Jehovah said. Mankind, or Adam and Eve, they were open, or they were allowed to eat any of the trees except for one tree. So it was an act of loving kindness because he gave them a variety of choices. And it's only one tree that they were not supposed to touch in obedience of Jehovah Lord with God's laws and rules. And what happened? Mankind, Adam and Eve, gave mankind a very big gift. It was a gift of sin, which ultimately leads to death because of disobedience. Romans chapter 5, verse 12 talks about that. It's like someone who is trying to, or who is a baker. They want to bake this bread, and the bread has got a brand name, and there's a logo. So anything that goes into the oven, which is molded from that pan, when it comes out stained or tainted with that logo. So we got sin and ultimately death from Adam and Eve. How did Jehovah view this? Did he say, no, let humankind die? What we find is very interesting. It's an act of loving kindness because Jehovah God gave us something very special that would give the life Adam and Eve lost. This is what the book of Matthew chapter 10, verse 20, verse 28 mentions. Jesus gave ailing and dying humankind back the life that they lost from Adam and Eve. And we know Jehovah set the tone by making Jesus' life a sacrifice so that he can buy back humankind from the bondage of sin and our worst enemy, death. We spoke earlier on about Lazarus. Is it Jesus' also desire to bring back those who have died? Jehovah appointed him to do so, and he actually desires to do so. John chapter 5, verse 25 and 28 and also 29. Let's have a reading of that chapter, of that verse. So we said John chapter 5. Verse 28 and 29. This is a promise that Jesus gave when he was here on earth. A promise for those who put faith in him. Do not be amazed at this, for and come out. Those who did good things means to a resurrection of judgment. What's the important point that we want to get from these two verses? The promise of a resurrection. This is what gives us the strength in times such as these, when we lose our loved ones. We mourn, we cry, we feel the pain. It hurts so much, but we never lose hope. Why? Because we know Jehovah's plans that are so vivid, and we visualize them, and we know very soon Jehovah will raise our dead loved ones from death. So this is what sets Jehovah's Witnesses apart. When they are mourning, they mourn with hope. And this is the hope that we want to share with everyone, because it is within all of us here. It's rich. If we put faith in Jehovah, that resurrection hope is open to everyone, and it becomes a reality. We mourn, but we don't mourn without hope. Jesus wept, even though he knew that he was going to raise Lazarus from the grave. Was it because he didn't have hope? No. Jesus wanted to share the pain with the affected family. He felt exactly what they felt deep inside. But he knew that at that moment, he was going to resurrect Lazarus and bring hope to the family and bring hope to the friends we have lost a dear one in death. So this is the hope that we continue to share with everyone, because it gives us the energy, the strength to go on, even in such a bleak situation. And when we're talking about the resurrection hope, there are two hopes. There are those that will live in heaven, but the rest of humankind, Jehovah is promised that they are going to be resurrected right here on earth. They are special and lovely God. All of us who are here, how do we benefit from being here? For being here? I think this is just chapter 9, verse 11. It gives us a sobering reminder whenever we experience such a situation. Ecclesiastes chapter 9, sorry. Let's get to the book. Chapter 9, and our main focus is on verse 11. It reads, I've seen something further under the sun, that the swift do not always win the race, nor do the mighty win the battle, nor do the wise always have the food, nor do the intelligent always have the riches, nor those with knowledge always have success, because time and unexpected events overtook them all. It's very important for us to be here, because all of us, the life that we have is not because we are wise, it's not because we are clever, it's not because we are rich, it's not because we are so health conscious. It is a gift Jehovah has given us. We don't have any claim to it. And also, at times, time and unforeseen occurrences might get the better of us. You remember sometimes they say wrong time in the wrong place. There is nothing really much that we can do because we cannot foresee what's going to happen in the future. Hence, the importance of mourning with those that are mourning. Psalms chapter 19 helps us also, especially in such situations. Chapter 19, verse 4. It reads, "Teach us how to count our days, so that we may acquire a heart of wisdom." Do we know how to count our days? What does it mean? We want Jehovah's wisdom to direct us in our daily activities, so that we can be wise, not in our own eyes. But whatever we do, we can do that to the glory of Jehovah God. And when we do good, others will be inclined to follow Jehovah. We also want to have a good name with Jehovah God. It's Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 1 to 4 reads. And we always want to make Jehovah happy. Proverbs chapter 27, verse 11 and 10 to it. Proverbs 27, verse 11. It reads, "Be wise, my son, and make my heart rejoice, so that I can make a reply to him who tells me." Look at this parent. He has managed to give his children wisdom because they understand discipline. They discern. They are very good neighbors. They are known for doing good at school and in the community. So whenever they see her, they praise her. She is the mother of those two well-behaved kids. How does the parent feel? The parent feels honored. Why? Because of the good behavior of the kids. So when we carry ourselves well, and we are good people, not that we are perfect, we are never perfect, we can never be perfect. But we are good people because we enjoy doing what is Jehovah. The community is happy, and Jehovah himself is happy first. And we get this smile of approval. Does the comfort and the sympathy end here? Or is it an ongoing process to the Masecos and to the Venezolans relatives? Proverbs chapter 17, verse 7. Proverbs 17:17. It reads, "A true friend shows love at all times, and is a brother who is born for times of distress." How then do you know that this person is a dear brother in times of distress? Is it when you suffer tragedy, when you experience problems, they run away, they fly like eagles? Or is it when you have problems, that's when they are always there at your side to comfort you? Even just to mourn with you. Sometimes we don't have words to express how we feel. We cry together. If we're smiling, we smile together. That is the mark of a true friend. So brothers, sisters, friends, family members, give Maseko and family. They need you even after this ceremony. We should be there at their side to comfort them. Comfort is an ongoing process. So we should always be there to check up on them, see how we are doing, show that we really love them, not that we're only there for that particular day, that particular day, or that particular day. And then once the job has been done, we go to our respective homes, we forget about them, we don't even send a WhatsApp message. We must continue to comfort them. Because time and unforeseen circumstances may befall all of us. It's just the time, we don't know when, but all of us can become a victim of such tragedy. In conclusion, let's focus also our attention on Psalms chapter 9, verse 9 and 10. Psalms chapter 9. It reads, Jehovah will become a secure refuge for the oppressed. So the Mansego family, the Mkisa family, dear close family members, dear friends, dear brothers and sisters, Jehovah will become a secure refuge for you in your loss. He will do so in such times of distress. It's like you're running away from a rainstorm. You run to a tower, a place of refuge. This is what Jehovah does. Verse 10, those knowing your name will trust in you. In such times, we don't trust in anyone else, but we put our total trust in Jehovah God. You will never abandon those seeking you, or Jehovah. Friends disappear or they can disappear. They can run away, or they're only with you for that particular day, a week, 2 weeks, 2 months. They get tired. Jehovah will never abandon you. You can bear your heart, express your pain to Jehovah. Say things that you can never tell anyone. Jehovah will not look down on you. He will never judge you. He will never mock you. Jehovah will be with you forever and ever, as long as you are living and you don't abandon him. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Brother Nkosi, for those words of encouragement. To conclude this session, we would like once again to invite you to sing, to stand, and we will enjoy together song number 51. You will call. Then Brother Nkosi will conclude the session with prayer. Once again, song 151.
Disappears tomorrow. For at the end can be given away. We rest with tears and sorrow. If a man should die, can he live again? Hear the promise God has made. He will call, and then will answer. They will live, and his command. For he will never love thee. For the way of his own hand. So have faith and do not wonder, for
Let's pray. Our Heavenly Father, our loving God, the giver of love, we thank you very much, Jehovah God, for this wonderful gift of life that we have. And Jehovah, if we were to literally open our hearts, they are full of sorrow, pain, sadness, full of tears and misery because of the death of our loved ones, Thabo and you. And Jehovah, as we are mourning, we never lose hope of the promises that you've said in your word, Bible. And you promised, Jehovah, that all of us, if we exercise faith in you, you will give us the ultimate gift of everlasting life. And right from the onset when you created us with the desire to live forever. And it pains our hearts when we see our loved ones sleeping in death. But you are sure, Jehovah, by vivid examples in the Bible of people that were raised by your Son Jesus Christ. We think of Lazarus and also the wonderful manner in which your Son raised him, and also his dealings with Martha and Mary at the house of their dear brother. And Jehovah, it gives us the strength and the confidence to know that you not only have power, but it is your desire to bring back dear loved ones who have lost in death. And it's also, Jehovah, good for us at this time to reflect on our respective lives. What kinds of name are we creating with you? And Jehovah, the aspect of comfort should be ongoing. We feel strongly that we should continue comforting Massacre family. And Jehovah, as imperfect humans, we sin against you many times, not because we want to, but because of the sin that we got from our forebears. But we are grateful because you have saved us with sacrifice, and the best is for the forgiveness of sins. And as we go to the cemetery, may you continue to be with us. May you help us to continue bringing glory and honor to your name in everything that we're going to do. May you help us, Jehovah, to continue pleasing you and help us to have a free conscience where we are concerned with your relationship. We would like to offer this prayer through the name of our reigning King, Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. Amen.
We just have two announcements to share with you and proceed to the burial. Once you view, please give an opportunity to the next person. The second one, during the burial, would you please avoid throw sand right into the wall? Thank you.
Just see yourself, just see me too. Just see us all in a world that is new. Think how you feel, how it will be. To live in peace, to be glory free. No evil one will then be there. Will call our fortune and fail. There's time we have come for when you have bestowed the sun of our praises to God of our heart. We thank you, our Lord, for all you have done. All things are new, and full of your Son. Therefore, there's no one who was in us now. For glory and honor and praise to you belong. Soften your soul and sing me too, and look back to the world that is new. No sight we see, no sound we hear, will cause our love to you. All has come true, just as we say. Now all one thing God is display. He loves you awake and not sleeping in death. Their voices will turn out with every grateful prayer. We thank you, our God, for all you have done. All things are new, and new of your Son. There's no one For the days where they will say, life without end and love. In those days, all will be young, all at peace with Jehovah.